what success looks like. But don't mistake this graph for your strategy. This is the result or a symptom of a well-crafted and executed strategy. In this simulation, we'll delve deeply into what it takes to implement the strategy. It won't be easy, but it will be thrilling, and the years will pass by quickly. Running a global firm is a tough business. Each of your competitors will be seeking the same thing you are: market share, margins, and of course, a high stock price. But if you work hard, you can hit it really big. You'll enjoy high margins, market share, and all the fame, while others will crash and burn, carrying tons of leftover inventory and a balance sheet that nobody wants. It's all up to you. Some of you made me nervous, and rightfully so. After all, this simulation is part of your capstone course. But not to worry. If you really follow these steps and note the details, you'll be highly competitive. I've put together a slide here called Getting Started. Log into CAPSIM if you haven't already done so, and subscribe using the industry code I provided everyone. And browse the dashboard and get acquainted with the site navigation. You might note the chat function in the lower right-hand corner. This can put you into chat touch with each of the people on your team. Complete the 3 training videos. They take about 1 to 2 hours each. The first 3 are more detailed, and the last one only takes about 5 minutes. Study the user guide and the market conditions report. The user guide is going to help you understand how the simulation works. The market conditions report is going to focus you on the business challenges you face. Then decide upon who will be leading each of the 4 roles. For 4-member teams, 1 person fits nicely into each of the roles. If you have 5 or 6 members in your team, those extra members will act as liaisons to the other roles and also act as a sounding board. If you have 3 people on your team, a couple of people should take over the 3rd or the 4th additional role and split up the workload. The 2 reports I just mentioned are quite important. The user guide sets the stage for the business. It tells you how to make decisions and explains how the game operates. It'll describe for you the potential markets, the business environment, and the different types of strategies available to implement. It also talks about how you perform using measures like the balanced scorecard. The market condition report also sets the stage about the specific products you have relative to the market segments. It talks about customer preferences in each one of those segments times the product characteristics. These are the levers you get to pull to change the nature of your products in attempts to get more market share. It'll talk about things like the customer buying criteria, such as speed, accuracy, and service life. It'll also talk about region kits and how you can enhance your sales. Drift rates and market segment sizes will also be presented over time. You know, the market doesn't stand still. It changes every year and typically becomes more sophisticated. Operating costs, location, and currency exchange rates all play a factor throughout the simulation. After studying these 2 guides and what it means to be, say, an R&D manager, it's time to decide then who will direct each one of the 4 main functions, and who will potentially support those if you have 5 or 6 players. Be prepared to actively engage in the practice rounds we will hold shortly. Soon, we're going to be entering the practice round phase. We do this so that here you can see on this slide we have our schedule of rounds. On the top, I'd like to point out that during your first round there's a very important decision. So here we are in an example to start us off with. An example
Each year, there's going to be ongoing challenges. You're going to have stockouts where you don't have enough product to sell. Other times, you may have a boatload of unsold inventory, which results in probably an emergency loan. Each year will likely present a different situation. The learning will come from the way you adapt to your own circumstances. You'll definitely need all hands on deck. So that brings us to the end, right? How do you end the game? Well, my recommendation is to sell as if you're going to sell the company. Earnings matter. Don't try to game the system in the final round. The market does not know your intentions or whether the simulation will end. The final round can dramatically change the standings. Don't take your foot off the gas pedal. For those of you who are interested in knowing, we're going to go over the questions for projects number 3 and 4 in advance of our simulation during our second residency. So you'll know what to look for, where to find your information, and what is expected in your simulations. Before the first simulation actual round, each team will research and report on those answers for the benefit of the entire class. And during our session, you'll report on what you found, where to find it, so everybody knows how to answer all 10 questions for each of the projects. Both projects will be due in 1 week. Some final thoughts and reminders. Each of you